Nice. Game of guess this tune in there.
Absolutely. So we have one riff through this, which is using some very cool chords, or at least bar chord shapes, at least. But I'm sure.
And actually, you get so much out of just one shape. So we're talking about an E minor 7 bar chord.
So the first one we looked at in this episode.
Yeah, the exact same one. So the first one, there's 4 chords. The first chord is this E minor 7. The next one is you take your pinky and put it on the 10th fret of the B string. Don't move anything else. Then the third one is you lift everything off. So you've just got your bar and your second finger on the 8th fret of the B string. So, oh, sorry. Wrong one.
Little finger down a string. Little finger down. There you go. Yeah.
And then the fourth one is this, which is like an A, very smooth.
It's such a musical chord, isn't it? It's
A6.
so musical.
So third on the 7th of the D, second on the 6th of the G, pinky on the 7th of the B, first on the 5th of the E. I'm surprised I could do that after I couldn't do such lovely chord progression, isn't it?
It's great.
And there's so much of just that.
Following kind of the same rhythm as the bass line.
Yeah.
I would suggest the bass line might have come first in this song, but I don't know. I wasn't there. Funnily enough, I wasn't there. But dunk 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 dunk. So all this kind of what I would call chickers, all that kind of thing is actually following the bass line, but adding a lot more kind of
just the kind of
a lot more of these chickers in it, and the bass line. A little shake up of the rhythm there, but we will link to the tab of that bass line somewhere in the description, I'm sure, as we will for tutorials for most of these songs. We've got one for Get Lucky, which is coming up, but those 4 chords are very, as I said, very musical, but also quite based on standard chord shapes, and it's so typical of so many other songs.
Yeah,
I mean it's one of the quintessential like funk songs when you think late 70s funk. It's one that's at the top of the list, but I managed to play.
Now this one I actually do think I know.
It is
Superstition.
And then I also play.
You
know that one?
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
What's the name of it?
I'm going to keep going with this one. Everyone's going to be shouting it. It's too funny to see the screen.
What is the freaking name of it?
This hit that ass called Michelle.
Know the tune, can't think of the name. Suddenly the name is just absolutely gone. Put me out of the music.
Uptown Funk.
Uptown Funk, there we are.
It's too funny to see you scream. What else would work? I mean, this riff. That's almost the same.
It's practically Superstition.
Which is?
Again, I know the song. I can play you the song.
Do it now. We're gonna keep playing this
until I get it.
Dancing and singing and moving to the rhythm. Just
play that funky music.
Yes.
Very good.
That's the great thing about going genre specific. You learn one thing and you suddenly have access to all this other stuff where you're like, it sort of runs from the same vocabulary. There might be, something new that each song teaches you, but it opens up a whole new world. And then if you wanted to turn this into a kind of 12-bar blues, you maybe you push it to that kind of thing, which is, in a way, there's a lot of Stevie Ray Vaughan and Hendrixy stuff with that. Absolutely.
Actually, this is a good example of something that rhythmically does a little bit different because there's very little syncopation here. The chuckers, of course, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 1
and 2 and 3 and 4 and
1 and 2, 3, 4. But you can have fun.
To show people what syncopation is, if you were to make that more syncopated, start off with the same rhythm and then just make it more.
It's just about shifting it to the offs rather than the on beat.
Funniest way that I've heard how to describe syncopation. It's like how William Shatner speaks.
I remember. In the wrong place.
It's all kind of in the wrong places.
But it changes it. And that riff is so great because you can do it rhythmically totally different, but it's still the same riff. That's
Absolutely.
what's so great. And that's the freedom of this funk music.